the stripe, set to go. Does he have enough to knock off Carlito Mello in round one? Green is out. Here we go. Carlito Mello. Down into one. Advantage to Mello. Off two. Down the backstretch. Carlito Mello into 3 and 4. Liam Monahan gonna get a little bit loose. Checkered flag waves. Carlito Mello moving on. Battle of the Chevys here. DeRoches down the low line. Smith up top. Green flag in the air. Give the advantage to Smith on the high line. Smith checks out to the lead, down into 3. Here comes DeRoches battling back, gets a little loose, doesn't have enough. Jarrod Smith gonna move on. At the stripe, set to go. Green flag in the air, give the advantage to Williams. Down off 2, Nate Williams leading. Louis Diaz into 3 and 4, smooth sailing for Williams. Checkered flag as Fierro goes around in 3. Nate Williams moving on. Set to go. Green is out. Down into 1. Fielding jumps out to the advantage. Off of 2. John Fielding over Walter Wickenback. Into 3 and 4. Fielding looking for the checkered flag. Steve Bowden lets it fly. John Fielding gonna move on. Green flag. Down into turn number 1 with the advantage. Henshaw got all types of loose. Oliveira off 4, checkered flag waves. He'll move on. Green flag in the air, down to 1 and 2. Barrows with the advantage. Here comes Purse, battling back, head of steam, off 2, down the backstretch. Christine Purse going for the lead. Into 3 and 4, got the nose advantage. Does Barrows have enough to hold on? No, he does not. Christine Purse gonna move on. Seekonk in the 1989 Chevy Camaro. At the stripe. Chevy Vega, but here comes Bradstreet. Crossover move, battling back. Into turn 3, Bradstreet with the advantage on the low line. Slams the door shut, gets loose. Apart on anything 2, and holds on for the win. Wow. Medeiros, 1982 Chevy Camaro. Paul Curtis, 1964 Chevy Chevelle, down into 1. Curtis jumps out to the lead. Paul Curtis, smooth sailing into 3 and 4. Here comes Medeiros right to the back bumper. Not enough time. Checkered flag. Paul Curtis moving on. Green flag out. Gives the advantage to Hernandez. Down into 1. Hernandez off 2. Not much of a battle. Sam Hernandez into 3 and 4. Gonna come to the checkered flag and move on. Green flag in the air, here they go. Down into 1. Winicki on the high line, but here comes Garaga. Hansel Garaga into 3 and 4. Off of 4, checkered flag waves. Garaga gonna move on. Continuing to whittle the field down. Green flag. On the inside, Weidinger with the nose advantage. He's gonna check out. Down into turn 3 and 4. Franz Weidinger. Checkered flag waves. He's moving on. Green flag in the 24. East Coast Towing and Recovery Champion, Carlito Mello. Down into one, Carlito Mello gets the advantage over Fielding. Off two, down the backstretch. Fielding trying to mount the charge back. They go into 3 and 4, Carlito Mello. Off of 4, checkered flag. Carlito Mello moving on. Into 3 and 4. Williams going to come to the checkered flag and hold on, moving on. Green flag in the air, Paul Curtis. Overall there, they battle door to door in turn number 2, off the back, down back stretch. Into 3 and 4, Curtis with the advantage. Here they come, off of 4, checkered flag, Paul Curtis going to move on. At the stripe, set to go. Green flag in the air. Bradstreet with the advantage. Off of 2, down the back straight. Back stretch, Gil Bradstreet. Into 3 and 4, checkered flag waving. Gil Bradstreet gonna move on. Green flag in the air. Down off 2, down the back stretch. Into 3 and 4, smooth sailing. Checkered flag waves. Schweidinger going to move on. One of them going to be moving on. One of them going pit side. Jarrod Smith, Nate Williams. Here we go. Down into turn 1. Door to door. Williams with the advantage, but here comes Smith. Down into 3 and 4. Smith with the nose advantage. Williams battling back. Here they go. Across the stripe. Smith's gonna move. Paul Curtis has looked strong. Does he have anything for Carlito Mello? Green flag in the air. Here they go. Down into 1 and 2. Carlito Mello pushes Curtis up the track. He's gonna have to battle back. Down into 3 and 4. Carlito Mello slamming the door shut. Moving on. At the stripe. Bringing it down. Slow to get going. That gives Bradstreet the advantage. Gives Bradstreet down the backstretch. Into 3 and 4. Coming to the checkered flag, Gil Bradstreet. Moving on. This one should be a solid matchup. Carlito Mello. Jarrod Smith. Mello gets a great jump. Jarrod Smith going to have to do all he can to battle back on the high line, battling back, closing it. Into 3 and 4. Carlito Mello slamming the door. Smith gets loose, goes for a crossover. I believe. That one was very close to call. Green flag in the air, down into 1 and 2. To Smith on the high line, over Schweidinger. Schweidinger smoking it down off 2 into 3 and 4. Jarrod Smith from Boomtown, New Jersey. Checkered flag, he'll take it home. In the finale tonight. Green flag in the air. Here they go. Stripe into 1 and 2. Carlito Mello. Smooth sailing in that Eagle Talon in 1990. Bradstreet gets a little loose. Checkered flag. Round number 1 goes to Carlito Mello. Here they are at the stripe. Second to go. Green flag. Great jump. Down into 1 and 2. Carlito Mello working to take home the East Coast Towing and Recovery Spectator drags. Checkered flag waves. Gil Bradstreet goes around in 3 and 4. Carlito Mello, your East Coast Towing and Recovery Spectator drag winner.
So Carlito back on the winner's side, a great run for him. Gil Bradstreet finishing in the number 2 spot. And Jarrod Smith out of New Jersey, making the travel up worth it, finishing 3rd here this evening in the East Coast Towing and Recovery Spectator Drags. Normally, and we will talk to our top 3 down track side.
Thank you very much, Kevin, as our East Coast Towing and Recovery Spectator Drags, Carlito Mello bringing home the win once again. Carlito, some gremlins bit you last week. Obviously, you got it fixed, got it back out here. What's it mean to be back in victory lane tonight?
Feels good. The beginning of the season has been a tough one, but I got a good team behind me. Shout out Mike Vincent Tuning. He got this baby back where it is right now. He helped me out last week after I had an issue. Shout out Brothers Tires, and shout out 781 Motorsports.
Of course, some gremlins bit you last week. What happened?
My battery terminal was like split in half completely. You got to remember this, a 30-year-old car. It's going to have issues, but as long as you got good people behind you, you can do amazing things. And I want to shout out Gil and Jarrod. They're great competitors. Me and Gil were talking for a while in the pits, having a good time. Everybody I race with, I consider a good friend.
Anybody you want to thank?
Just Mike Vincent, Crothers, Tommy Crothers, and Chris Riccatelli from 781 Motorsports. I want to thank my girlfriend and her whole family, my mom, dad, everybody who comes out to watch.
Carlito Mello with the win here in the East Coast Towing and Recovery Spectator Drags. Gil Bradstreet, you brought it home 2nd here. What more did you need to get past Carlito there?
Power steering would have helped. I lost power steering on my first race. No excuses, but this car is not exactly the easiest beast to handle with power steering. So without power steering, it's all over the place.
Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Gary Villa, Villa's Towing, Spar Racing Engines for giving me the opportunity to run this. Gary's not even around. He's out in Colorado for a wedding. I'd like to thank Boss Lady Graphics, Whitey, TTM Motorsports, me. That's about it.
All right, bringing home the podium once this week, all the way from Boontown, New Jersey. Jarrod, what more did you need to maybe get past Carlito and make it to that finale?
So I wanted to start off by saying, like, I'm just saying what happened with the car. No excuses. He outdrove me today, but I made the same mistake a few races ago. Today, I launched it way too high RPM and started spinning. And I tried to drive around, but I couldn't control it. But, you know, congratulations to Carlito. He definitely outdrove me today for sure.
Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, my parents, Mile to Mile application, After Dark Speed, Van Steel for the suspension parts, everyone that's involved, Rich, Dave, for helping get the car together. Couldn't have done it without them.
Jarrod Smith brings it home 3rd. Gil Bradstreet brings it home 2nd, and your winner in the Spectator Drags here today, Carlito Mello. And Gil, what you got? One more thing.
One more thing. I got to give a shout out to Dave Simpson for towing me today. Thank you.
There we go. That's your top 3 podium. We'll send it back up to Kevin.